this building will use only about 20% of the energy that a new code-compliant building will need.
Today, May 14, 2021 was a special day. Rivian, you'll see their R1T prototype truck featured on the left there, and here it is in person. We get to see it, the EV Club of Connecticut here. We get to meet with the folks at Rivian to answer questions about their new electric vehicle, and they're there in support of SB 127, a bill right now that's trying to see if we can actually get and buy cars like Rivian right here in the state of Connecticut. And today, this video is going to cover the hotel. So we had architect Bruce Becker there. This hotel that he was talking about, he answered questions. We had all sorts of questions for him about the Hotel Marcel retrofit project. So I'm very excited to present this in conjunction with EV Club of Connecticut. Enjoy and consider subscribing. Thank you.
It's going to be the first all-electric hotel, the first net zero hotel. And I think it's a good example of the electric future for this country. It's one of the most sustainable hotels envisioned. The building, formerly the Pirelli building and the Armstrong Weber Company building, was built in 1969. The architect was the world famous Marcel Breuer, one of the founders of the Bauhaus movement, and then he was the leader of the Graduate School of Design and taught a whole generation of modern architects. But this was an iconic building. It demonstrated sort of the structural and sculptural qualities of concrete by levitating most of the office building above the base. And it's interesting that we're here talking about the electric future for vehicles, because this building was originally oriented to the highway and was a building that was part of the automobile industry, one of the leading tire manufacturers. We're going to be a net zero hotel, which means we're going to produce 100% of the energy we need on site using exclusively solar and battery storage. We'll have 1 megawatt hour of battery storage in the building, 2 different racks, they're LG batteries, and we'll have solar covering the entire rooftop, as well as solar canopies that you can see, some of which are right here. We also will have an all-electric kitchen. It'll be one of the first hotels in the United States that doesn't have any kind of fossil fuel connection. There's no natural gas line. So we'll have induction cooking. We'll have the laundry is also, a lot of hotels send their laundry out. We're going to do it in-house with all-electric laundry equipment. All the domestic hot water will be made using CO2 heat pumps. So not a single contribution to the carbon problem that we're facing. And we're hoping to be open by the end of the year. We'll have 165 rooms. There's also the top floor, which was formerly a mechanical floor, is going to be used for meeting space. There was a place where there was a well, which was where mechanical equipment was. We're putting a glass wall around that, but that will be outdoor space that'll be available for the meetings that are up on that level.
9 floors?
Well, there's 9 floors in all, but there is no 3rd or 4th floor. So we have 5 meeting room floors. The ground floor will have a full-service restaurant, a couple large meeting rooms for gatherings, a lounge, and then the 2nd floor and what's the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th floor are going to be all meeting room, all guest room floors, different sizes, double queens. They're wonderful suites on the corners looking out at Long Island Sound. It's hard to appreciate from down here how amazing the views are when you're in the hotel. You look out at New Haven Harbor and water views from the whole east side of the building. The west side of the building also has fantastic views of the skyline of New Haven, as well as the East Rock and West Rock and the sunsets. To reactivate the Long Wharf area, we're just across the highway from the new Canal Dock Boathouse, which is a meeting facility with recreation facilities. They have rowing programs and yoga classes out there, and there's a new bike path that comes all the way down Columbus to Union Station. This will be the closest hotel to Union Station in the city of New Haven. That's the 16th busiest Amtrak station in the United States. So it'll be tied into a lot of transportation networks that don't rely on fossil fuels. There's also 3 bike paths that come through here. The East Coast Greenway, which actually goes all the way through Westport and down to Virginia and up to Maine. There's a couple local paths. There's the Farmington Canal Trail, which starts here and goes all the way to Massachusetts, and then there's the Vision Trail, which is a smaller, more local New Haven trail. So this is a project that is centered on all different kinds of green transportation and recreation.
Bruce, can you highlight the inverters we're looking at in the solar?
Yeah, so we have 3 large solar arrays here. We're going to have an additional one installed, but we have SMA inverters. We're going to be producing, with all of the solar, 700,000 kilowatt hours a year of solar, which equals the energy use for the building, including all of our lighting. The heating and cooling is done with air source heat pumps and energy recovery ventilators, so it's an all-electric system, and all that power and energy will come from Onsite Solar. This is a technology that is proven, it's established, it's affordable, it pays for itself. It's more economical, even without subsidies, than conventional fossil fuel systems. The problem is the industry hasn't moved forward to embrace the technology that's available today. So we're hoping that this can be a great demonstration project so that other people developing any kind of building can see that there's no need to have fossil fuels for any kind of buildings or any kind of transportation from here on out.
Do you know if this will be the first passive house hotel in the country?
It is, actually. It's the first. There are no. It's going to be a LEED Platinum rated hotel and also Passive House certified. Passive House is a European-based standard which is gaining popularity in the U.S. and the emphasis there is a dramatic reduction of energy use through extreme insulation in the building envelope, so that this building will use only about 20% of the energy that a new code-compliant building will need. So it's much easier to be net zero when you don't need that much energy. So we've gone to great lengths to put in triple glazed windows to insulate the envelope of the building so that it uses very little energy. In fact, it's called Passive House because it basically heats itself passively. You can see the deep set windows. There's an inherent passive design with the Pirelli building, in that when the sun is high in the summer, the sun doesn't enter the windows. But in the winter, when you want to have the solar gain, and the sun is low, it comes in and provides passive heating for the building.
Are you going to place charging here too, electric charging?
Yeah, actually on the where you see that red fence at the north, there'll be 12. So we'll provide sort of regional charging for people coming through. Will be one of the closest stops to both 91 and 95 here for people coming through. Also for people living in downtown who maybe are in an apartment that don't have access to chargers, it'll be a very convenient place for anyone to charge up. And then we'll have probably a couple dozen level 2s, destination chargers for hotel guests who want to charge overnight.
Is there parking underneath?
There's parking underneath all these canopies. There's also parking, sort of shorter term parking out in front of the hotel.
Do hotel guests get a discount at IKEA?
Everything's always discounted at IKEA.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a universal discount. All the charging will be 100% renewable here.
You want the LG batteries?
We will have LG batteries. There'll be half a megawatt hour of battery storage both on the 6th floor and the 7th floor. But they'll be synchronized, so they really act as one large battery. We can use those batteries to participate in the demand response program that Connecticut is rolling out. It'll also allow us to island if we have more extended grid outages like we've had in the last couple of years here. We'll be able to operate, the hotel will be able to operate continuously without any interruption, in perpetuity. Actually, we can operate the hotel off grid. It'll be very easy to do in the summer because every day in the summer we're net positive. In the winter we'll have to do some load shedding. If there's an extended outage, we'll have to maybe do laundry less frequently, or we'll have to have some interventions to make sure that we make it through every 24-hour cycle without running out.
That it can be done. That's what's important.
Yeah, no, this is there's nothing that we're doing here that hasn't been proven. This is all proven technology. We're just putting it all together, and we're taking the time to integrate these things. But there's no reason why any hotel going forward, or frankly any other building type, couldn't embrace the same technology. We're fortunate, with to be an all solar building, you need to have, it's hard for a tall building. And that's why we were relying on these solar canopies to get the solar production that we need. But if you have a building that's 2 or 3 stories, you could even do it without solar canopies if you design the building efficiently. And if you have enough surface parking, the canopies are actually an enhancement for the guests. They're not going to come out in the winter and have snow in their car. They'll be covered under rain. So and it pays for itself. Our electric costs will be a lot less than conventional grid energy.
Heat pumps throughout?
Yeah, all of the heating is done with air source heat pumps. The new VRF technology, which is super efficient. Yeah.
And water capture? Is there any?
Yeah, we have energy recovery both for the domestic hot water and the exhaust air, which is preconditioning the fresh air. All of the ventilation will have 100% outdoor air, and we'll have CO2 sensors to make sure that there's actually even more air changes when we have events in spaces.
When's the governor coming?
We're hoping to have a wonderful celebration when we open, but we're not quite sure what the date will be. We've had some delays because of the pandemic with deliveries, but our goal is to be open by the end of the year.
Thank you.
So we're going to enroll in the